Report of the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/shop if you actually want to support the movement. We got all sorts of paraphernalia there, clothing in different colors, shapes, and sizes. You know it's hoodie season, so you know we got those too. Christmas sweaters on deck from my Still I Grind brand. That's actually promotion for my mixtape at Still_I Grind, my Instagram mixtape, and my album that's on the way. But definitely support us as we continue to support y'all, giving y'all this real, these facts. Right now, yesterday, we just actually suffered the second worst day of the pandemic in the United States. 233,000 infections nationwide, over 3,300 deceased due to COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2, coronavirus disease 2019, aka that Rona, aka BFN World Broadcast number 17. Make sure you still check that out, where I'm rapping actually about from the origin of the pandemic, where I'm giving out facts on how it started. So don't let contemporary news actually distort your knowledge of history of what has happened and how we even got here. But right now, over in California, you know, Southern California, for example, they've completely run out of ICU beds. Cali is getting it bad. You're talking about LA, claiming that there are 2 people on average dying every hour from COVID-19. Meanwhile, at the State Patent Hospital, this is actually a psychiatric hospital. There are lawyers representing the patients there, demanding that the state either transfer or release these people, because there's been an outbreak that's actually spread and infected 700 people with COVID-19 and has killed 10 people. Green War and Graduation. For the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure you check out blackfoxnews.com/LPAI. It's LPAI. It's actually an acronym for Let's Post About It. It's a link to our own social media platform. It allows you to set up a profile, you can participate in forums, you can create your own forums. And in these discussions, you can actually share things that you can't do on these other social media platforms. I'm talking about your own videos, but you can actually view them real time, real discussion. Same thing goes for YouTube, embedded videos. You can actually share programming code. You can actually share documents, all types of files, and you know, your regular emojis and stuff like that. I mean, it's a great platform that allows for serious building for the knowledge spreaders out here, and we all need to get together so we can be dealing with the same truth, so we can actually move forward as a society or as a community, whatever community you claiming to represent. Come on blackfoxnews.com/LPAI and actually create a forum, and let's post about it. Now, moving on to the news, the Food and Drug Administration's advisory board of vaccine experts, they actually voted yesterday and they recommended that the FDA grant a emergency use authorization to the company Moderna for their COVID-19 vaccine, for only people who are 18 years old and older. So I thought that was very interesting. How you have a vaccine that's going to work for the adults but not for the teenagers, I don't know. But nevertheless, this is where we are with the COVID-19 vaccine for Moderna. But for Pfizer, you know, you have governors all throughout the U.S. that are complaining, saying that they've received significantly fewer doses of the vaccine than planned. Now, there's a spokesman that said that Pfizer actually has millions of doses in cold storage, and they're just awaiting on the Trump administration's instructions on how to distribute them. Keep in mind that today in the morning, Mike Pence and his wife actually were vaccinated publicly, along with the Surgeon General. So I don't know, did y'all see that? What y'all think about that? I think that was some legit shit. Green War and Graduation, though. For the New World, the Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So that's coronavirus package, that $900 billion coronavirus relief bill that was actually looking like it was going to get passed by Congress, but the lawmakers, they still debating and trying to figure out something that is going to appease everybody that's creating the laws. Now, crazy thing about it is it was revealed that White House aides actually had to pressure and talk Trump out of insisting that all Americans or taxpayers would ever get a stipend of $2,000, saying that that would blow up negotiations. The bill in its form right now only is going to give y'all half of what y'all got back in the spring. Remember that $1,200? Well, half of that is what you getting in this bill that right now everybody is trying to pass, but they still can't come into agreement on it. Meanwhile, on the unemployment side of things, packages like this are very much necessary. 885,000 people filed for unemployment benefits last week. That is like the third highest. That's actually the highest unemployment filing toll in the past 3 months. And actually, this 500,000 of those people were poor applicants. You know what I mean? Pandemic unemployment assistance. So we'll see how all of this turns out. And and hopefully the economy can bounce back, yo, because people need that bread. Green Wall graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Joe Biden, the president-elect, has actually selected Deb Haaland, the congressmember for New Mexico, to be the secretary for the Interior Department. So this is actually she will be the first Native American to actually serve a cabinet position. Ain't that something, yo? Like, motherfucking Native Americans was here before the fucking so-called Americans, and they ain't never served a cabinet position. Well, this move was actually backed by a bunch of progressives and 120 tribal leaders who actually sent Biden a letter last month urging him to pick Miss Haaland to actually be in that position. So it makes sense because, you know, as the Interior Department does have to take care of and monitor the environment. So who better to do that than somebody whose family is actually indigenous to said environment. Green Wall graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So Michael Reagan, this is the top environmental official of the state of North Carolina. Well, this person has actually been selected by President-elect Joe Biden to be the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. If he's approved by Congress, he'll actually be the first black man to even head that position. And this is somebody who's actually worked under Clinton and Bush in previous years in the EPA department. So, you know, he's no stranger to the workings of said department. We will see how this turns out. I mean, it seems like Biden is getting a diverse crowd into the cabinet. Whether their views or their politics are diverse, though, is a whole nother thing. But we will see. Green Wall and graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, Congressmember, black man, incoming director of the White House Office of Public Engagement, Cedric Richmond, has tested positive for COVID-19. We're only 2 days after he actually was meeting with Joe Biden in Georgia. Now, apparently Joe Biden has reportedly tested negative yesterday for coronavirus, but Richmond, and you know, when they met in Georgia, they were both like masked up. They were outdoors, and they only met for like, you know, less than a few minutes. Now, see how less nerve-wracking that is? You know what I'm saying? When the proper precautions were taken, and yet one person contracts it, you can't just assume just everybody done fucking got the shit like you have to do with the Republican Party, you know what I'm saying? The grand old party, the Trump cabinet, you know what I mean? You see the difference? You feel it. You feel safer. Most likely, it's just Cedric that has it, and Biden if Biden has it, he ain't get it from Cedric. Green Wall graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Hey, y'all, keep in mind when you allow around your loved ones, you know what I'm saying, your little cousins or even your own children, little bros and all of that, keep in mind the fact that there are 28 children and their families that are set to be deported this morning, all back to Central America, South America, and Haiti. Now, attorneys for these children actually say that they weren't given a fair chance at, attaining, a protected status in this country or even attaining citizenship. And one of these kids is actually a 4-year-old girl with a broken arm that's in need of surgery. So how heartless do you gotta be? But that's the world we live in, man. They don't give a fuck. Green Wall graduation on. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So I told y'all earlier this week about how there was over 300 boys actually kidnapped over in Nigeria, and that Boko Haram had actually claimed responsibility for this kidnapping. You know, gunmen rolled up to the boarding school and started going at it with the security officials there, and then ended up kidnapping the kids while a bunch of other kids fled to the forest. Well, it turns out that number was actually 344 schoolboys kidnapped from this boarding school in the Katsina state, and they've actually been freed. There's still details. We're still waiting on details on what happened exactly. But state officials say that it wasn't the Boko Haram that actually did the kidnapping in the name of Western civilization. But I don't know. We'll see how that turns out, though. It very much could be, because remember, years ago, Boko Haram had kidnapped like over 300 little girls. You know what I mean? And with the same claims. So, and maybe this is just a play that we all being fed. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the world of the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, the Sackler family refused to apologize, or members of the Sackler family refused to apologize, as they were being grilled by the House of Representatives yesterday in a hearing that had to do with the opioid crisis. Now, keep in mind, the Sackler family, they actually own Purdue Pharma. Purdue Pharma actually makes Oxycontin. So, for a lot of y'all getting high off that shit, well, it's coming from these motherfuckers that refuse to apologize, even though they pled guilty. They had to plead. The company was found guilty of 3 criminal charges last month, including bribing doctors to actually write prescriptions more so than needed for the highly addictive drug. Now, this is an opioid. That means it's dope. You know what I'm saying? Literally. Now, this comes as do you have the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that actually showed that 81,000 people have actually died from drug overdose in the United States this past year. That's the highest ever recorded for a year, and 20,000 more than were recorded last year. Green War and Graduation. Report out of the world of the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, January 15th, another black man is actually supposed to be executed by the federal government. Dustin John Higgs. This man has actually contracted COVID-19, apparently. Now, this is crazy because he's one of the prisoners, and he's on death row, but he's still one of the federal prisoners in Terre Haute, Indiana, where COVID-19 is spreading. You have 300 prisoners that are said to have COVID-19 over there, and 300 people, let me say, including one of the guards. Now, you have Higgs's attorney that's basically saying that the spread of COVID-19 is most likely due to the Trump administration's pressing for to rush these federal executions. Keep in mind that 10 people have been executed by the federal government this year, and that is the most executed in a year by the federal government since 1896. Now, keep in mind that it was actually it wasn't done for decades, federal executions, that is. But here we are, Trump trying. Are we moving forward, or are we going backwards? 10 executions, the most since 1896, and he just started in the summer. Green War and Graduation, though. Out of the world, the Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So, attorneys generals from across 35 states have actually filed yet another lawsuit against Google for another antitrust lawsuit. This is the third antitrust lawsuit that Google is dealing with. Antitrust, for those who don't know, you're basically dealing with the prevention of monopolies, basically, because once you have monopolies, you destroy competition and you ruin this thing, this fairy tale of capitalism that you have in the U.S. Now, you may argue that monopolies are created all the time, but it's not supposed to be so blatant. So, but in the case of Google, with this lawsuit, they're accusing them of basically anti-competition practices, including as it relates to monopolizing their search engines in a way that deprive the consumers of choice and allow them to actually hoard all of the benefits from it. I'm sure they'll feel like they have a case, because at the end of the day, it's their product. You know what I'm saying? It's their product. What you gonna do? You don't have to use them. The choice should be what search engine you use. I don't know. This will be interesting how it plays out, though. Green War and Graduation. The new world, the Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So over in Google, you actually have a lot of the workers there that are calling for them to reinstate the employment status of Timnit Gebru, this black researcher out there who alleged that she was fired from Google after she had earlier this month. She was fired after she suggested to the company that they do something to ensure that gender bias and racist language isn't exacerbated by their artificial intelligence programs. Seems like a reasonable ask. I definitely think it would depend on how you asked it. It's still a white man's company, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe it'd be for the best, you know, Ms. Gabru. Like, maybe you could just actually start your own shit, you know what I mean? We'll promote it over here at BFN. You already know the vibes, man. Like, get with us, so Green Wall and Graduation. For the New World Order, Bishop Grady, let y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. Shout out to the New York City Council. And I think they actually adopted a resolution, a bill that should be adopted across all the cities of the U.S., especially during these times. But they basically adopted a bill, legislation that makes it illegal for fast food workers to be fired without reason. Basically, and if you ask one of the council members, Adrian Adon, she actually spoke on the matter, basically saying, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was basically saying how, like, you know, fast food workers already before the pandemic worked a dangerous and physically demanding job, and now during the pandemic they're with them being essential workers, it's even more dangerous, and they're putting their own families' lives at risk by going to work. So what this just cause legislation actually does is it provides basically stability, economic stability to these families, you know, who were typically faced with the decision of like either staying at a hostile work environment or leaving, being fired, and then, you know, being in the middle of a pandemic with no gig. So, you know, it's more about providing that economic stability, and it's also about providing love and respect to the workers. So, you know, shout out to them. Green Wall and Graduation.